Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's live SEO Q&A session with me and Mr. Chris Palmer, or Chris Palmer and I, whatever way you want to put it. ChrisPalmer.org.
Simple.
And the show or the YouTube channel is sponsored by 38 Digital Market. The link is below if you're interested in press releases, links, wider referring domain count, brand awareness, then check that link below. Mr. Randy Roday will sort you out with some decent press releases there. So do check that out. Amon Johns is here in the holding image before the show. Why does Craig look so depressed while flexing? You look so upset when you flexed and sharted. Potentially did shart in that picture. You never know. You never know. But yeah, I get that a lot. Why do you always look angry and upset? I'm not one of those guys that can sit there like smiling all the time.
It's tough. It's tough.
It's tough. Yeah. So I've not been one of them, but hey, it is what it is. But good to see Amon anyway. We all know Amon's good when he's throwing some abuse around. So good to see Amon. And Ryan Sheehan has the first question of the day. So guys, get your questions, put them in the chat. We'll go through them as fast as we can, put loads of them in there so we can make it quick and fast. But Ryan's saying, thoughts on Google's new simple search feature?
I just went looking to see, like, literally when I read that, I was like, wait, did something change? I mean, it looks the same to me. So I don't have any thoughts on that, to be honest with you, Ryan. Looks the same. I think sites, I feel like they're on their rebound. I mean, at least the service businesses, some law firms I was working on are like, I noticed a little bit of a dip in the beginning of November, but things are back up. I haven't gotten any phone calls, right? And that means things are going good.
Yeah.
That's one thing I dislike about the SEO business is that you'll never get a call when you're rocking.
No.
Right? Only when stuff's bad, you know? And it's never just one person, it's always everybody. Like, oh, hey, did you see this? Oh gosh, oh no.
Yeah.
Just relax, guys. It's okay.
But on the simple search, if you look at your search bar, they're testing it just now. You have an option for simple search that hides SGE and snippets. So it may cut out some of the crap if you want. But I've certainly not got it this end. I've just done a few searches, and I am not seeing a simple.
Just my luck. Look how perfect I got it. Now I don't know how to get rid of this glare. Dang, it's driving me crazy. I've gotten everything. Look at the lighting. I got it perfect. The camera's crisp. The lighting's perfect. Come on, man. I can't live. Can I live?
Take off the glasses.
No, I can't see. Everything's like a big blur. Like, oh no, what's going on? I can't even see. I can't even see. When I'm looking at the screen, I know it says press release big up in the corner. It's a giant blur.
Yeah.
I've always worn glasses since I was a child, a little boy, a wee lad running around causing a ruckus.
Yeah. Saul is saying, has my office got burgled? No, Saul. The video editor that I have removes all of the good stuff, like the Balcuzzi teapot from years ago. Normally that all sits up there and various other bits and bobs, but she's anal about things being in the background. So, yeah. I was recording some content today, and yeah, she shuffles it all around. So the mess is still there, just slightly tidied up. So there you go.
Okay.
Anti-Glare says Radhakrishna. Hopefully I said that close to being right.
Is that an option in OBS?
Oh, that's funny.
Tommy, good to see you, mate. We are very well. Yeah, Tommy has been a regular on here for many years, and always good to see you. And you, Mr. Amon Johns, a legend in the SEO industry, who is still
Kicking.
around and doing his thing. So,
Is SEO is this a young guy sport?
we're all getting old, dude.
Yeah. See, that's the interesting thing is the guys that I know are really getting to it are even older than me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, I don't know.
I don't know if it's a young guy sport. You see guys like Amon and various other people in the industry, who've been crushing it for years. Young guys come in and they kind of niche down and they become a link builder or whatever it might be. Are they really big deal experienced broad SEOs like they were back in the day? Probably not. And the one other thing, Chris, I would throw at you. Remember the lady who came to our event in Vegas? Don't know what age she was, but she must have been 65, 70, whatever. And she was in the industry hustling, selling domains. And
Domain? Yeah.
And again, I had this thing in my head that I didn't know what age to expect, but it certainly wasn't an older lady. So certainly not a young guy sport. Nah. There's people of all ages doing it. And some people, dude, I know guys that, even domainers that have been buying and selling domains for fucking 25, 30 years, whatever it is. So, there's still a lot of oldies kicking around, and obviously I'm now in that oldie bracket, or I feel as if I'm getting there. So, yeah.
Do you have to hang your hat up and at a certain age? No, right? No.
Oh, fuck that.
No.
I'll be here till I die. If SEO's still a thing, of course. I'll still be shouting about it somewhere or whatever. So I ain't hanging my hat up. But Aaron Semenov, good to see you, mate. Maeve, hello, Maeve. Ursol, what knowledge bombs did you get back from Thailand? There was a lot of interesting talks there, so but I can tell you categorically right now, the food was not nice.
Uh-oh.
Well, from my perspective, I am a fairly fussy eater, and I don't enjoy the Thailand food. So I'm the wrong guy to be asking her. So in terms of knowledge bombs, plenty of them. There was guys, it depends on what you're into or so. There was guy dropping agency running knowledge bombs, guys who had 7-figure agencies. There was, the guys like Kevin and Dig were there, who are super technical, corporate, want to call it that. Then you had, people like me who are up to bending the rules where you can. So there was a nice mixture of knowledge and information, and good conversations and good vendors and new people to infiltrate. So it was very, very good. But like anything, it's all about the people you meet and the contacts you make in general. That's most important for me. But in terms of knowledge, I'm pretty sure the fact that it's sold out, 98% of the tickets sold out there and then at the event, shows you the level of knowledge there. So it was a good event, but I'm not sure if I'm allowed to give away other people's bombs or secrets. Don't know what the rules are, so I'm going to zip it there because it's not fair. I don't know what I'm allowed to say, what I'm not allowed to say. In terms of the contract or whatever, with dignity. So
They record it.
They do, but I think it only goes out to people who attended. I don't believe they sell the recordings to other people. I'm sure they get out there somehow.
It'll be out. Yeah.
But there you go. But Tommy says being older is an advantage, more experience, more trustworthy, especially in a local level. I agree. Wise old head sometimes can do things a lot better than some young naive rookie, including me. I've been a young naive rookie running around shouting my head off, and here's the new guy to the business, and I didn't fucking have a clue what I was fucking doing. It was madness, but I look back and laugh.
Good word.
That's all you can do. But Jeff, first time watching the show. Always good to have new people, Jeff. Do you recommend link building using SEO Autopilot? If so, where to find some good resources on how to set it up and run campaigns? So SEO Autopilot do have their own private group. So when you sign up, you're allowed into a private group where people are asking all sorts of weird and wonderful questions. It's a great tool. Elias is a great guy. The guy owns it. It's something that I've got in my toolkit. But in terms of good resources, they have their own Facebook group. And there's a load of long-term older guys who have probably had every question under the sun going. So, they have some interesting thoughts in there. So definitely that's the best resource for it. And it's a great tool. Automated link building has its place in the industry. I don't point it directly to my own website or anything, but would I do it to power up guest posts, try and retain things in the index, and so on and so forth? The answer is yes. So I do think it has its place. But Chris, any feedback on it? Have you used it?
No. Other than for some testing to point at maps listings. I know a lot of guys in the group do. So no, you touched on everything. Don't point it directly at the asset. It's good for powering stuff up, keeping stuff indexed. Would it show up in a deliverable list in a scope of work? Probably not. But no, you hit the nail on the head.
Mm-hmm.
That would be fun, though. Here's your deliverable for this month. It's just like a list. Here you go. $50 a piece. No.
I'm on. When I used to watch Amon years ago, because Amon done a lot of this stuff back in the day. I'm saying that as if it was like fucking 20 years ago. It wasn't even that long ago, but he used to have an amazing production with it looked like a spaceship Amon was in. But he obviously took his background in lighting and production very, very seriously at the time. And he's saying 3 lights, 2 ahead, and to 45 degree either side, ideally one brighter than the other or further away, and 1 top lighter, especially if using a green screen. So again, wise old heads. The production of Amon. So we look at, like, I don't know, Dre, for example, with all his production now.
Yeah.
Amon used to have all that shit going on like years ago.
I can't do that, but I think that getting the lighting right is important. But I don't have the overhead. I got the 2. I figured that out. Then somebody told me about the one behind you to get the green screen right. Figured that out. I need the one overhead. That's the piece I'm missing. Ding.
And I'm giving this guy the fingers, Mark McShane, snap out of it. Mark McShane, I'm not going to say that he's not well. He is not well. He's in bedridden. But when I was not well, I had COVID and he was with me. And dude, he's like, he came up to me and I'm feeling like death. And he came up to me and he's like, fucking snap out of it. Snap out of it, dude. I'm lying in the bed, half dead.
Snap
he's
out of it.
Snap out of it. I'm
Sure.
like, are you for real? But the next day he felt really bad and bought me my dinner. So there we go.
That's fair.
Rad Hakrishna. I got my father glasses yesterday. He is 68 and he's been learning SEO since 2 years now. I know it's slow, but he will catch up. Fair play. Why not? Obviously, older people take longer to pick things up, but why the hell not? Good luck, and I hope he gets to where you need him to be. Glasses will always help.
Yes. Yeah, sure.
Fruitbat Cat, good to see you. Amon saying there's always more young guns coming. Few last proportionately more than a few years. There's different strains. Young have new, fresh eyes that the old eyes may miss, but older industry folks often have more experience to draw on, more tools in the toolbox, or even just know each other. The contacts, you're likely to do business with someone that you've known for, 20 years or whatever. So I think a collection of everything, why not? But Ursol, and we were talking about this before we came on, Chris, did you fulfill your goals for 2023? Could you have done more?
Yes. Yeah. I could have done more, or I could have done things a little bit better. But yeah, I did fulfill the goals. I've gotten the minimal viable product. So yeah, I did touch on the goals. I wanted to host my own conference. We assembled that, launched a very large scale lead gen. I wanted to successfully execute on a testing group and get it up to where I have the testing process down. I took care of that. I wanted to expand on the podcast. Yeah, I touched on the big ones. Another thing that I did that I won't mention, I was able to accomplish that. Couple pieces. Yeah, I was very, very happy. Yeah, man. This year's goals. I just want to get things back together with the group. I think I'm going to make it one group, make it a testing mastermind. I want to execute on a blog instead of charging for it. I'm going to give it away for free is the goal. Yeah, that's the big one for this year. Get the nuts and bolts of the service side down pat. My goal is 100 clients by the end of 2024. That's my big goal. That's the objective for this year. That's the big one right there. I want 100 clients.
And how far away from that goal are you?
Well, if we count white label consistent services, I'm already at that goal. But I'm talking about monthly recurring actual clients. I'm probably 80 away. But if we talk about like white label where they consistently come back and get, links or citations for their clients, like white label stuff, I'm already at that goal.
Yeah.
But I want like our own agency where it's like, okay, we're doing all the work from beginning till end. I want to hit 100. That's my goal.
Nice. Randy is here as well. So there you go. Good to see you, Randy. In terms of my goals, I think I've done quite a lot in 2023. Not perfectly positioned, but I'm getting there. Hoping by the end of 2023, I stabilize and position myself. I've had a lot of change in the last year to my business and the things that I'm involved in and so on and so forth. So I'm happy with what I've done. I've done again a serious amount of events as well, including our one we had in Vegas. So I think there's progression has been made. Let me just say that for 2023, and obviously I want to. In 2024, I'm going to cut down the bullshit. I feel in the last few years I've been dragged into a few different things that waste a lot of time and don't produce a lot of money. So I'm going to try and cut that out and just regroup and double down on the stuff that is actually working for me. So yeah, sometimes you get opportunities that you don't grasp and you kick yourself, and then there's opportunities you grasp and you kick yourself for taking them. You're just like, fuck, why did I fucking even agree to get involved? So yeah, just need to try and be a bit more focused on where my time and effort goes. So that's it. But I've done well. Can't complain. So, but we always need to strive to be better. But I'm tired now. So looking forward to a rest at Christmas and then back to it in the new year. So that's my goal. But TJ is here. But there's not a heap of questions, guys. Get your questions in the chat, and we will answer them as best we possibly can. No such thing as a stupid question. So if you're listening and go, I don't want to look like a douchebag or a newbie, don't worry. New questions are asked all the time. So put them in the chat and we can answer them as fastly as we possibly can. I also need to switch my WhatsApp off because it's pinging. It really annoys me. But yeah, it's really slow this week. Normally it's boom, 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 boom. Give us the questions and we will go through them. But TJ, I don't know if I said that last week, but I met TJ out in Chiang Mai. Good to see a long-term face from the YouTube in person. So yeah, it's always, I hate it, Chris, when you go to events and someone comes up to you, Craig, shakes your hand and you're like, I've no fucking clue who you are. And then you look at the name and you're like, right. That's who it is. So yeah, it's always nice to do that. Nerdy, has generative AI affected traffic to GMBs, in your opinion, Chris?
Where'd my guy go? I'm sorry. I got lost on the screens there. So as far as the yes and no, but most notably what's really affected the GMBs, in my opinion, is that for a lot of big primary keywords, did you notice that they've taken the map pack and decided to put it on page 2? That's a big issue. That pro list is an issue. Google Guaranteed is an issue. Making it easier for people that don't necessarily know the platforms with ads, able to jump inside of maps and then inside of the 3-pack and then in organic, like making it easier to run ads has been a problem. So those 3 issues are what's really driving. But that guarantee, that flipping pro list, and then them moving down the map pack, that has been what's been most impactful that I've noticed. Super painful for business owners.
GMBs are just a pain in the fucking tits, full stop, right now. Like, even I was setting one up today, and it's fucking straight away, take a video outside the office, do this, walk in, show me paperwork and fucking, the business video verification. They're just making it awkward. Reviews are being pulled down left, right, and centre. Even real reviews, dude, are getting fucking pulled. I always had 65. I'm now down to 52. Don't know why. So I think there's a lot more going on with GMBs than generative AI. To be honest, I think there's a whole heap of things going on. And, I spoke to, I done a consultancy call yesterday, and the guy says, who's the best for reviews at the moment? and I text Laurie and I'm like, who's the current best for reviews that stick? And Laurie's like, literally nobody. He says, if you find someone, tell me who it is. Because they're being fucking pulled left, right, and centre. So
they're getting ripped.
Yeah. So the whole GMB thing is
tough.
Good afternoon to Holly Starks. Hope you're keeping well. I seen you were on your travels, according to your Facebook recently. She does get around probably as much as me. So, but always good to see you, Holly. But Ursul, do you think white label SEO is a good route? Isn't the margins razor thin on that? Is it just managing VAs with your SOPs? How do you find white label clients? Is it agencies or freelancers? So, Chris, you do a lot of white label.
That's the kicker right there. You don't have to manage the client, and yeah, I do a lot of volume, but the profit margin is so slim, you know. But you know, you're getting paid for your process plus time because of the management, all the little issues, which is the part that I dislike. You know, any little thing, oh, hey, you know, the client's looking at it every day, but you can pay somebody to sit there and take that position, right? So yes, I think I wouldn't, if you're in a position to do both, I would do both. But yes, the profit potential is much higher if you're willing to do the managed. But you have to set, the number has to amount to the actual work that's put in. You know, like you can't give people white label prices and then do the managed. Like I tried that. It doesn't, because they're expecting to get a $5,000 job for $1,500 a month.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't pan out.
So obviously I sell a lot of links as well through my link agency. And I get a lot of friends in the SEO space saying, Craig, can I white label your shit? Now, why would I give someone wholesale prices and have to get more staff to make less money? It makes no fucking sense. To me, that's just my opinion. Why would I fucking do that? Who is your audience? You know, agencies are my audience. I can charge the real price without any questions asked. I do not want to deal with freelancers or SEOs because they want that shit for next to nothing. They want me to be their VA is essentially what's fucking happening. And that can't fucking work for me. I'm not saying you can't do successful white label, but if you do white label, you're the fucking VA. You're the you're the freelancer's fucking VA, the bitch. And that is not essentially where I want to be in life. So that's my opinion on it. But I know you do it successfully, Chris. So I know there's money in it, but
you do feel like that though.
I've said to you before, Chris, your prices are too cheap.
But and it attracted the guys that there's enough room. And that's one, I look at that as one piece of the business. But I definitely feel that there's a lot left on the table. And I could do a lot better for clients if, hey, let's let us full manage it, but the price is the price.
Yeah.
You know, if you want white label, hey, we offer that. If you want me to manage it, you want me to do it, and you actually want to win, this is the price. And you can't be, that's the other thing too. Like value and price are wildly different. You know,
yeah.
You can't undercharge. It's so big. Anyway, lessons.
Yeah.
I learned the hardest way.
TJ, next time we definitely need to have a real drink, because the last time I seen you was in that nightclub and I was feeling like absolute horse shit. That was a COVID, of course, coming on that I've just got over, but it was a pleasure to see you, mate. The 3D computer man, does embedding GMB maps to Web 2.0s actually do anything?
It's part of the process. It's part of the process. Did I ever single out that? The only time I ever singled that out was probably a year and a half ago. We singled out the embeds inside of a tool called Money Robot. And we saw some effect, but it's been a year and a half since I could point to a test and say, hey, here's the results from this. Do we embed them? Yes. but most notably, it's generally going to be in a Google News network or across a large amount of PBN sites.
Yeah.
So, I mean, is it helpful, or we're going to embed them into the press releases, like the cheaper, you get 500 links for X dollars. But I can't point to a test and tell you it's been a year and a half since I tested it.
There you go. That's your answer. But I'm on Johns and Company. Margins are a thing you control, create by thinking about an end value, reseller, RRP, and controlling your costs. Best where sales process is time intensive and you can spend it better elsewhere. Wise words. Ursol, maybe think the time it takes to find white label clients, you could find normal clients paying higher rates. I don't know, man. Try either or. Chris has got both. And then from there, if you've got revenue and there's the higher paying one over here and you can bin this shit off after a period of time, do it. I think it's a learning experience anyway.
For sure.
Try both. Fuck it. I've been there. And
it's time allocation though. Like the client has to, for the amount of time that it actually takes to find success, like in the right niches too. Like the price has to be there. When you start equating time, link costs, and time plus my mental anguish, like the price has to be right. It's got to be the right client for sure. And where previously, and then two, taking clients from different verticals, definitely not a good idea. Pick your lane, stay in it, or maybe you might have one or two lanes, but something where like it's a system, it's productized almost. Yeah, that's another lesson. Like you can't be doing roofing today and then okay, helpers. Now we're going to be doing solar. All right, guys, now we're going to be we have our lawyer client to work on. Like, no. Started phasing all that stuff out. You're not homes or lawyers or very particular home services. I can't help you. It's hard to say no. It really is. I hate telling people no, but that's been the hardest thing, learning how to say no instead of yes. Because then you say yes and you start working, but then you got so many other things going. It's like, man, I hate that. And then you start thinking, well, it's only $1,000. It's only $1,000 a month. I got this client. This guy's giving me $8. I got to be talking to this guy, not to you. And then I feel bad. Yeah, man. It's been a learning process.
Radha Krishna, I feel disconnected when the client inquires about the process. So how can you convey information about your services without delving into excessive detail? Very common question. Chris, I mean, how do you see this? Obviously, clients want to know more than a lot of SEOs are willing to give. Why would you give your secret formula away? I'm pretty sure you're not saying to clients, you're getting, maybe you are, you're getting niche edits, you're getting this and you're getting that. That's your deliverable. How do you dress it up and fluff it all up and make it all sound fancy, or do you just literally say?
Never. Very, very. Here's up front. We control our own network. These are going to be the guest posts. I wouldn't never give up the plug. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, here's our press release. It's through Globe. Okay, here's our other press release. It's through EIN, right? And then they go look at their price and they see what they're getting from me. Okay, I'm going to go through Chris. The citations, okay, we build our own. I'm very transparent. I'll go over the overview, but not the nuts and the bolts of how exactly it's executed, if that makes sense. Like, we optimize the pages and we use POP, and we'll give you a delivered report. Now, how that's done or what we're looking at specifically, no, I'm not going through that. On hard pages, we use Cora. How to work that? No, I'm not going to sit there and show them. But these are the tools, and this is how we do it. Yeah, I'm transparent. It's always better because then it qualms issues and questions later. I can always go back. Oh, well, this is what we do.
I think for most cases as well, most clients are not fucking interested in the excessive detail. You just think that, sitting there, you think clients are trying, and don't get me wrong, the odd client is trying to siphon the information out of you, but for most cases, clients couldn't really give a fuck. Give them something that makes them feel like they're getting value for money, and that's it. But I have often said, and I use examples. You wouldn't go into a car mechanic after getting your car serviced and say, "Dude, what oil did you use? What screwdriver was used? Show me this, show me that, show me that." You don't have to go to that level of detail at all. They're going to say your car service, we changed the oil, boom, 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 boom. That's it. The same way as you're going to say, I've got citations, I've got links, added 10 articles, whatever. That's all they need to know. They don't need to know how it was done, why it was done, who done it, or anything like that. So keep it simple and as transparent as you can.
And with the secret, the secret is what actually works is by doing the work. All the ones that I know that have this like crazy process, like show me the assets. Like how many calls does that generate for you? And then you'll go after them and you're like, I don't know. There's not really a secret, right? The only secrets would be that I'm able to allocate and get certain services for below sticker price.
Yeah.
Because I've been able to develop a relationship or buy in such bulk that I'm able to get a deal. That's the only secret, right? Is there what else is there? Or I know what works and what doesn't.
Yeah. Hard work beats most things though. Actually just taking the time to do some shit, it will set you apart from most others. That's all I've ever really done is tried to do the basics properly. And it's taken me relatively far, but obviously across the way you meet some nice people, nice vendors,
helpful
guys with some cool stuff, and that you take a little bit of and apply it. So yeah, that's what you do or what you invest or whatever way you want to look at it. But there we have it.
There we have it. Thanks, Chris. You're good at transitioning. I like this.
Yeah. Chris Boland, how important is it to have a GMB service area connected to a location if you want a local service landing page to rank in your website? Do you need to have that connected, Chris?
All right. So if I'm hiding the address, then it's massively important to outline the area in which I service. And then, of course, I'm going to have those backup pages on the website to convey to Google that, hey, we actually do service this area. Aside from that, if I have a main location, the real question is if I stuff in a bunch of stuff, do I actually get farther proximity? No. What do you get? 5, 10 miles, right? Maybe at most. So generally, we're going to do whatever the actual area is or what's the actual service area. Nothing extra, nothing more. So hopefully that answers your question. I don't go crazy. Like I've tried that. We tested that too. Like, okay, if I have a business and it's in New York, but then I only put in zip codes that are in New Jersey as the service area, do I rank in Jersey? No. I still get my 5 or 8 mile radius here. So that's fun. We tried it. But maybe you'll get lucky. And then there's outliers too. Some guys get lucky. Hey, look at this. Some obscure niche in some obscure town. We got a 40-mile radius. Awesome. How's that work in DC? So I don't know. Hopefully that answers your question.
Fruitbat Cat says anything we game has the potential to be tightened up at some point. Got to try and stay ahead, but they will crack at some point. Only real businesses, no middlemen. So especially as Google wants to be the middleman or man. Bogey Breaking Golf. If I only worked on improving old content for a couple of months, could my rankings drop since I am not producing new content? Do you believe that to be the case, Chris?
Well, you are feeding the Google machine by updating that is fresh. So no, I don't think you're going to suffer by improving what you currently already have. I just got off a guy, he has an auto shop in Florida. And I'm like, hey, what's not in the top 3 but on the first page. This is where we're going to dual links, and this is what we want to we call it refreshing the pages. Let's start there. Anything that's on the first page, 9 through 3, let's hit those. That's what. No, you're not going to suffer.
I would encourage it. I think too many people try and add too much new content. As a result, end up,
Pain.
they do too much. Go back and double down on the shit that's actually working. So I would encourage you to go and renew old content. Doesn't have to be 10, 20, 30, 50 articles per month. Double down on what's making you money.
And to this, what works for affiliate and ecom, like I've had so many business owners come to me and they want to expand their topical map. Like, hey, like you offer 3 services and you target 10 locations. Like, I don't think we need 500 pages supporting content on this. Like, I just, just because you see it working here in this niche or this industry doesn't mean that it needs to come over here. That's a thing that I've been seeing a lot of. It's very painful for me. And then you look at their index pages and it's like 1,400 pages not indexed, 135 are. It's like, oh my God. And then you look, it's all blogs. It's like, oh my Lord. Like all that money. Why didn't you give it to me? At least if you're going to buy blog content, buy it for me. No.
Talking about blog content and other things, Holly's asking, have you made the jump to using ChatGPT and AI for 80% of your business yet?
Not really. Not necessarily.
I'm going to share something. Window, give me a second just to find it. So I'm going to share my entire screen. So Holly, here is an example of a website that had pure AI. Boom! It died very, very quickly. So I am still sitting on the fence as to how much ChatGPT and AI I use. Is all I would say. I wouldn't be going for pure volume on it yet. I'm still not convinced it's the right thing to do. Do I use ChatGPT for certain things within the business? Of course I do. Even down to tweets and shit like that. But in terms of content, sadly not. I use it to assist, but I do not use it as the main driver behind it, because I've not seen anything that would suggest that it sticks for any longer than 6 months.
How many pages was that?
1,200.
So 1,200, and then on each of those pages, what 1,000 words, 1,500 words, somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
And then how many images per page were you put in?
0.
Okay.
So I've done a number of tests. That particular one was just pure content, just boom, 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 automated, pure ChatGPT, nothing.
While it was going up, though, you guys were like, "Yes, we got it, baby. We're gonna be rich."
So, I've got other websites that we do use AI, but there's some human editing and a bit of fuckery, and they are sticking a lot better, but certainly not for 80% of the business. So I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm just showing that as an example of it can go wrong. I'm just still treading carefully is my philosophy for now.
Was that the K one or the Zimmy one?
That one.
Which writer was that?
Autoblogging.ai.
Interesting. I like that little that have a nice little platform. You like that better than Cyber?
So Cyber, dude, is fucking super technical to get over the initial
It
setup.
took me a month to figure that out. Yeah.
You know, I think I have been dealing with a number of people with a number of different tools. You know, Cuppa is another one, CUPPA, which Charles Float has got involved with. So there's a lot of them out there. I've not got round to trying them all, but Autoblog and AI is a super solid tool, and the guys are very smart behind it. And obviously, throughout when you do these tests, they'll make adjustments to the output and everything else. So it's a case of messing around and trying stuff and seeing what happens and blowing shit up. So, but yeah.
And it blew up. That's a cool little test, though. And then, have you been going back and like making little tweaks to see if it'll go back?
Yeah, it's not budging, dude.
Google's like, no, I'm sick of this site. You're out of here.
Yeah.
What was the category? Not the use, but category. Was it sports?
Home security.
Home security.
Yeah. So, yeah. And Awim, good to see you, mate. Our Sol says testing group sounds interesting. Are you using Spearman Pearson coefficient to validate tests like Cora is? What's the web address for your group?
Well, the test he was showing was Craig's. That was my test.
No, but when you were talking about it before, I think.
Me. Oh, it's just SEOmastermind.org. Spearman Pearson. No, I do what I call in the wild testing. We have an asset. We perform a test. Did it create a result or not? Ted calls this, what do they call it? He has a name for it. In the field, I think is what he calls it. He has a fun name. I want to see, hey, if I actually do something that's on a real site that's actually doing something, does it make it move? Because if it does it in a closed environment and something moves, it's much different if I take it to an actual site. So we actually try stuff in the wild is what I call it. And if I get a result, then we try it one more time. If it works again, aces. And if it's something really hot, then we keep it for ourselves.
Amon is saying best place for white label is where the general market value is less than specialist market value, but you don't have an in to the specialist market and a partner can whack on a margin. So there you go. Mr. Durrani, good to see you, buddy. Our Sol again, think white label might be a great idea if you are the front of house, having other people manage everything else. Delegation is important. And I think Chris said earlier, sometimes you start out with, you have to put all the money in your pocket, 100% of the revenue in your pocket by doing everything yourself, but getting 50% for doing fuck all and delegating that stuff out and giving up some of the money is the only way you can scale. It's the only fucking way.
That's it.
So...
And then paying somebody, you think paying somebody to watch the people execute to make sure that they're executing how you want them to. See, at first I used to think like, why would I give you freaking $3,000 a month to sit there and watch these people? They're the ones doing the work, but no, that's important too. Because then they start coming up with their own ideas, So I've learned a lot over the last 3 years.
Amon has given more advice to our Sol on focusing on your strengths and then outsourcing the sales process, especially for foreign language markets or specialist industries. We need Amon on the show. Nobody wants to suffer looking at me, man. These two ain't no oil paintings either. Thank you.
Thank you.
He could be the Mona Lisa. The Moner. Sur Soup Warrior, your CTR service on SAB. Could you speak about it on it a bit mid-competition?
Well, we had 2 traffic services. I'm not sure what type you're looking at. We started doing it for websites. My partner and I, Andy and Tom, we made our own tool to run traffic and clicks that are attached to accounts. for mid competition, if you're again, the same rules apply. If you're in position already, top 20, you'll see the best result. We're talking about maps specifically. Again, pick your keywords. If you're not in the first row, the first 20, looking at maps on desktop or whatever you're using, if you're not already in those top 20, then you're not in position to start running traffic and clicks. Not in my opinion. I see the best results if you're in that top 20 already. That means you have all the other factors in place. To boil it down, like if you're brand new in mid competition and when you search for the primary keywords that you want to do better in and you show up on the eighth click over, like, yeah, I might be able to get you to number 30, and going from 80 to 30 is awesome. But that's not going to make you money. And then you're mad at me. So if you're not in that top 20, I highly advise don't use my service.
Here you go. The old how not to give away the farm question goes back to the 90s. Thing is, you can show people how the farm works, and very, very, very few would be willing to actually work the farm. I agree, Amon. That's why I try and give as much away as I possibly can without shooting someone in the foot or myself in the foot, because I know that most people won't fucking bother their ass or probably ain't even listening. So that's very, very true.
I've got interesting phone calls over the course of time. People that you wouldn't think that you're affecting are unpleased.
Yeah.
With certain things. Like, Chris, why did you say this? Or why is that video up?
I've had a few myself. Did I stop posting content on that site that died? Like when it died, were you posting constant? Yes. We drip fed the content on over a 6-month period. And yeah, it's dead as a dodo. But we expected that. We just wanted to see how long Google would allow pure AI to stick around for. And with that update, end of September, it killed it. For video, I'm not using it at all. I don't create content for Instagram, TikTok, etc. using AI. Chrissy, you messed around with the video stuff. I've obviously seen your stuff, Holly, at the conferences, but I've not done anything with it.
Nothing AI related. I mean, I'm making shorts out of the longer form stuff, which has been a fun process and learning curve for me. But yeah, I'm pummeling all of them: IG, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube. I'm starting at my own. I saw Mr. Beast had his own shorts channel. I was like,
I've now got my own shorts channel as now since like the last time we spoke about it. I've got my own shorts channel. So
yep. Shorts channel is where it's at. So
if Mr. Beast is doing it,
I'm doing it. Yeah. That's right.
Conca Happy, which topics would you outsource for 500 monthly? Guest post, content writing, thanks for advice. For 500 specifically monthly. I don't know how to take
re-optimization, uploading, and interlinking. That's the retuning of the pages, uploading the pages, and interlinking of the pages is very, very time consuming. You'd have to do a lot of pages for 500.
Yeah.
Most sites have 38,400 pages on them. It's a lot of work.
Yeah. Holly has seen reports of that ant hill. We've been able to pull it out. It's about constant content, like shoving it up the ass, and it can pull it out. But with that said, I've gone to 95% video and audio marketing with AI and driving links over to the website that way. Why not? Make
it work.
Yeah. And Holly always makes it work somehow. I'm just not sure about that shoving it up the ass, Holly.
It's not that kind of party.
Yeah. But Amon's has advice for bogey breaking golf. The exact market and query space matter a lot. If QDF is a big factor in the SERPs you rely on for traffic, then not producing fresh may hurt, but updating if substantial counts. QDF stands for Query Demands Freshness. Examples of QDF are news, weather, events, and the one that catches people out can be activated if a keyword suddenly trends or changes context. And that's why we need wise, experienced, older people in the industry. They just say things like that and it sounds really good.
Sounds good. Yes.
Yeah.
Checking for the intent change is definitely a big issue.
Yeah.
No question.
Holly, we can have a chat anytime you want. I am busy this week because I've got an event with Charles in London on Friday, but I'm quiet for the next 3-4 months, so
we can do it right now.
Yeah.
Come on, Holly.
I'll show you some of my we've got 3 minutes and I am in a rush, but I can show you some of my tests, how to pull it out and fix some of the issues you guys are seeing. As always, Holly, I am more than happy to have you on and share your stuff with the audience and stuff like that. So let's do it. I'll send you a DM, Holly. While since I've spoke to you. No worries. It would have to be after the holidays. I see Sergeant on the 18th. Hope that all goes well, Holly. Chris, could I clarify my question about GMB listings and ranking for many location service pages on my site? Will Google rank my service plus Glasgow page if my GMB says I'm in Brighton?
Yes.
We around this. So his GMB says he's in Brighton, but he's got a local landing page says he does Glasgow as well. Will Google still rank that?
The page on the website? Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
Chris, I'll give you Google SEO training Middlesbrough. My website ranks for it, and my GMB says I'm in Glasgow. So there's a live example of that working. So 110% there is such a thing.
But that specific issue there, I had other, I don't know if anyone noticed, but I got rid of my GMBs. And I had one in every city. I noticed the cities that you have them, and I was doing really well. But yeah, no. You'll do really, really good in Glasgow. You'll do great in Glasgow. But yes, on the website, you could still rank. No question.
Source up. Ranking at SAB proximity expansion difficult, unverified listings and citations, pointing to the website. Is that a strategy?
Ranking a service area business proximity expansion difficult, unverified listings and citations pointing to the website a strategy? Could be a strategy. I think the unverified listings is just to be able to get phone calls. They show up, but you only get about a half mile to a mile radius. Putting the links back, if you can get the website to show, usually right now they're probably not, but you get the number to pop in there. It's just about if somebody's standing on their phone in a particular area searching for a service in that half mile to a mile radius, you can almost guarantee that your unverified will pop up. Getting the websites to stay in there is tough lately.
Hopefully that helps you, Source Up. Local search is a branch of maps, not a branch of classic Google search. Different systems. GMB local is all about map position and the user signals within the map area, including footfall, but your location pages outside of your service radius can perform in proper search rather than local, which I totally agree with. But more importantly, and the last thing before we shoot off, CP, is your site down? Randy was looking to order and he's just getting a blank page.
No, services. The services page is up. The store's still up. She should have the new pages up on the main website in any minute. Shouldn't even be down, but if it is, services.chrispalmermarketing.com is still up, Randy.
There you go, Randy.
Stores there.
Go and grab your stuff. And yeah. And whilst we're at the last part, we will wrap up the call for this week. Appreciate all of the questions and all of the interaction from Amon and all the other people there, Holly Starks, Chris Boland, Sursop Warrior, and all of the others. Ursol, I can't even remember all the other names. But it was good to have you guys. Please do like and subscribe to the channel. And do not forget to check out 38 Digital Market using the link below and take advantage of Randy Rodet and his press release and other services. And check out chrispalmer.org as well to see Chris, the old boy Palmer, over on his website, or just search for him on YouTube and you'll see all of the stuff that he's pumping out. There's always good content, so check that out, guys. But appreciate everyone, and we will be back again at the same time next week. Cheers.
See